Guten Morgen und willkommen zu Now German. Hey Sie.
Hey Gregor, guten Morgen.
Good morning. Welcome everyone. Are you ready to learn German?
Yes.
Okay. And today we are learning about she and he because we love talking about others, don't we?
Yes, but in a good way.
Of course, always in a good way. All right, let's go into our dialogue. And I'm going to start. Hallo Sie.
Hallo Gregor, wer ist das?
Das ist ein Freund. Er heißt David.
Woher kommt David?
Er kommt aus der Schweiz. Und wer ist das?
Das ist Luna.
Woher kommt Luna?
Luna kommt aus Korea.
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 Yes. Let's look at these words. So first, some of them we saw in the previous lessons, but still good to review some of them. We have wer.
Wer?
That is who. And then das.
Das.
Das, in this case, it means that. Actually, the word das has many different meanings in German, but in this dialogue, it just means that. And then you can start a sentence with das ist.
Das ist.
That is, for example, I'm talking to someone else about our podcast, our lessons. I can say, das ist sie.
Yeah.
Or you can say, if you're mentioning me.
Das ist Gregor.
Exactly. And then you can also say, if you're talking about a friend, das ist ein Freund.
Ein Freund.
Yes, and ein Freund means a friend. And then we have heißt.
Heißt.
Yes, that is he is called. That's actually a new verb we didn't look at before. So far we just said ich bin is I am, but there is a special verb that we just use for introducing someone's name. And in this case, for example, you can say heißt.
Heißt.
Yes, and kommt.
Kommt.
That is he comes, and we usually say with aus, which means from. That is aus.
Aus.
Yes. So together that is kommt aus.
Kommt aus.
He comes from. Yes. And then another repetition, was.
Was.
That's what. And spricht.
Spricht.
That is he speaks. And you see the conjugation of he or she. In English, it always gets an S in this form, but in German, it always or usually gets a T. There might be no exception. Do you know any exception? I think there are no exceptions.
Of course, I don't know. I don't know what to use.
All right. And then we have und.
Und.
That is and, a super frequent word. You'll hear it all the time. So I don't think you'll have trouble remembering that. And so we always looked at Er, that is he. But you can also, of course, use a female version, and that is sie.
Sie.
That is she. And then there is the word for it as well. That is es.
Es.
Yes, so sie, es.
Sie, es.
Exactly. And one thing to be aware of is that sie has different meanings as well. It's also a plural form and it's also a polite form, but we'll look at that also in future lessons. And then we looked at many countries recently in the past lessons, but there is a new one, which is Korea.
Korea.
Yes, that's Korea, of course. All right. Anything that's difficult? All easy for you, right?
Yes, all good.
Nice. Then let's look at our dialogue again. Hallo Sie.
Hallo Gregor, wer ist das?
Das ist ein Freund. Er heißt David.
Woher kommt David?
Er kommt aus der Schweiz. Und wer ist das?
Das ist Luna.
Woher kommt Luna?
Luna kommt aus Korea.
Yes. And now you know three different ways to form verbs, which is I and you and he. And in English, only the he gets an S, right? All the other forms are usually the same, but in German, all of them change the forms. And so I'm actually just going to tell you the infinitive form and ask you to conjugate in the singular, okay? So first we have sein, to be.
Ich bin, du bist, ist.
Yes, exactly. And then we also have sprechen, to speak.
Ich spreche, du sprichst, spricht.
Yes. And about this one, you did it very well. You need to be careful. This is an irregular verb. German has lots of irregular verbs where the verb stem, the stem is the first part of the verb, sprech, and then there's ending en. And the stem can sometimes change in the case of irregular verbs. That's why they are irregular verbs, right? And so in this case, sprech changes to sprich. Yes. And then we have kommen, to come.
Ich komme, du kommst, ihr kommt.
That's right. And then our new one now is heißen, to be called.
Ich heiße, du heißt, ihr heißt.
Yes, great. What do you think is most difficult about verb conjugations, she?
I think it's just some irregular pattern. So for example, I know that for du sprichst, du kommst is always end with st, but sometimes these words like previous letters will change accordingly, and it's quite special. I need to remember that specifically. So I think that's the hard part.
All right. I think I totally agree. That's what I see from most of my students. All right, let's go to our dialogue once more. Hallo Sie.
Hallo Gregor. Wer ist das?
Das ist ein Freund. Er heißt David.
Woher kommt David?
Er kommt aus der Schweiz. Und wer ist das?
Das ist Luna.
Woher kommt Luna?
Luna kommt aus Korea.
Yes. And one thing we do in German, probably very similar to English, is very often we raise our voice at the end of a question, which you don't need to do. Like, for example, you in the dialogue, you basically said, Woher kommt David? Basically, it sounds like a statement, but because of the woher, it's still clear that it's a question. But if you want to be very clear, you better raise the voice in the end as well, okay?
Okay.
All right. And that was our lesson today about sie und er. I guess that's it. Any questions?
No? All good.
Okay, then danke everyone for joining today and tschüss. We see you in the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.
Cheers.